The global stage is witnessing an extraordinary reversal in what was initially perceived as a proxy war against Russia via Ukraine. In a surprising turn of events, this conflict has morphed into a proxy war against the West, particularly the financial and political hub of the City of London. What we are observing is not merely a geopolitical battle between Russia and Ukraine, but a larger confrontation where the true belligerents include not just Russia, but also the United States. The motivations behind this shift are deeply rooted in economic interests, security concerns, and strategic calculations that extend far beyond the battlefield. To fully comprehend the gravity of the situation, it is crucial to examine the historical struggle between Anglo-American financial interests. The British financial elite, centered around the City of London, have long exerted influence over global markets, leveraging colonialism, banking institutions, and intelligence operations to maintain their dominance. On the other hand, the United States, particularly under leaders seeking economic nationalism, has periodically resisted British financial control, advocating for a sovereign monetary policy that prioritizes industrial production and national economic growth over financial speculation. This tension has manifested in various global conflicts, from the American Revolution to World War II and even the Cold War. The current proxy war through Ukraine is a modern manifestation of this historical struggle. The United States, under Donald Trump, appears to be reassessing its role in global conflicts, seeking to withdraw from unnecessary entanglements and instead focus on strengthening economic partnerships that serve American interests. One of the key elements that reveal the deeper layers of this confrontation is the rare earth minerals deal in Ukraine. This deal, initially proposed by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during his meeting with Donald Trump in New York, was a strategic move designed to secure American support in exchange for access to Ukraine's valuable mineral wealth. The figure of $500 billion, often attributed to Trump's supposed greed, actually originated from Zelensky himself. However, this narrative was quickly manipulated by British officials and media outlets to paint the United States as an exploitative power seeking to take advantage of Ukraine in its moment of need. The plot thickens when we examine the subsequent events. After Trump's electoral victory, his administration attempted to formalize the agreement, sending Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent to Kiev with a draft proposal. Surprisingly, Zelensky rejected the deal, despite initially offering it. In a perplexing move, he then turned to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, expressing his willingness to sign but insisting on legislative approval. However, just days later, he publicly denounced the American proposal, embarrassing the Trump administration and fueling speculation about external influences guiding Zelensky's actions. The answer to Zelensky's abrupt reversal lies in the intervention of London's political establishment. Boris Johnson, a key player in the British ruling class, made a timely visit to Kiev on February 24th, the anniversary of Russia's special military operation. Almost immediately after Johnson's arrival, two significant developments occurred. Zelensky reversed his rejection of the American deal, and the Ukrainian parliament extended his presidential mandate despite constitutional limitations. This series of events points to the overarching influence of British interests in Ukraine. The true reason behind Zelensky's initial rejection of the American deal is now evident. He had already committed Ukraine's vast wealth to British interests through a secret 100-year partnership agreement signed with the UK's Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. This agreement, finalised just days before Trump's inauguration, effectively transferred control of Ukraine's natural resources, infrastructure and strategic assets to British hands. Given the economic calculus, Trump's best course of action appears to be aligning with Russia rather than pursuing a deal with Ukraine under British dominance. Ukraine's natural resource wealth is estimated between $12 and $14 trillion, while Russia's stands at a staggering $75 to $90 trillion. Furthermore, engaging with Russia offers a more secure and less risky pathway. Unlike Ukraine, which demands financial aid and military security guarantees, Russia can provide a stable partnership without requiring American military intervention. Additionally, backing Ukraine under the current British-controlled framework presents significant dangers, including the possibility of escalating military conflict with Russia. The obligations that come with a security guarantee could entangle the United States in a potential World War III scenario, while the economic benefits remain uncertain at best. The British establishment, aware of the fragility of its position, has been maneuvering to ensure continued American involvement in Ukraine. This involves not only financial incentives, but also strategic military commitments. Boris Johnson's statements and media campaigns have emphasized the necessity of American support, highlighting how Ukraine's survival depends on sustained US military and financial backing. An alarming possibility is that the British and French governments may attempt to introduce their own troops into Ukraine under the guise of peacekeeping, with the expectation that any Russian retaliation would then trigger American intervention under NATO obligations. This approach is designed to keep the U. If Trump's administration is fully aware of this deception, preparations are likely underway for a major political shift in Ukraine. A transition away from Zelensky's government appears inevitable, with discussions likely occurring behind the scenes regarding potential successors. A strong candidate for Ukraine's future leadership is Valery Zaluzhny, the country's ambassador to London, who may serve as a bridge between Ukraine's Western alliances and a more pragmatic approach towards Russia. Beyond Ukraine, the battle for global financial dominance is intensifying. The rise of alternative economic blocs such as BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa poses a direct threat to the Western-led financial order. These nations are increasingly exploring alternatives to the US dollar for trade, reducing reliance on Western-controlled financial institutions such as the IMF and World Bank. Trump's vision includes radical economic reforms, potentially eliminating income taxes and reshaping the US financial landscape. If successfully implemented, such measures could attract global capital and talent, creating an economic boom that undermines the financial leverage of the globalist elite. If Trump pursues closer ties with Russia, this could have profound geopolitical consequences. Such a move would not only weaken London's grip over Ukraine, but also disrupt the broader Western alliance. A realignment between the United States and Russia could lead to joint economic ventures, greater security cooperation, and the dismantling of NATO's current trajectory towards conflict. This shift would also serve as a counterbalance to China's growing influence. A trilateral balance between the United States, Russia, and China could redefine the global order in ways that diminish the dominance of European financial elites and their historical control over global trade, currency systems, and political institutions. As this intricate web of political, economic, and military strategies unfolds, the world stands at a crossroads. The battle between Western financial hegemony and national sovereignty is reaching a tipping point, with Ukraine serving as the primary battleground. Whether Trump can successfully navigate these treacherous waters and realign America's strategic priorities remains to be seen. But the stakes could not be higher. This is not merely a regional conflict, it is a global struggle for the future of international order and governance. If the realignment succeeds, it could mark the beginning of a new era in international relations, one where financial elites no longer dictate geopolitical outcomes. However, the entrenched power structures of the West will not surrender easily, making the next few years a defining period in modern history. Stay informed. If you found this deep dive into global politics insightful, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more hard-hitting geopolitical analysis. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the shifting world order. What do you think? Drop a comment below and let's discuss the real power struggles shaping our future. Your support helps us bring more content that the mainstream media won't cover. Let's grow this community together.